Hey, I want you to know the genus Lachenalia in the family Asparagaceae. The genus is really interesting for many different things. You have the leaves first, many different types of leaves, like pustulate leaves, spotted leaves, and so on. Round, lanceolate leaves, and more is the flowers. We have a lot of different kinds of colors and mixed colors in this genus. Like here you have some Lachenalia calista. I really love this one. This genus is really interesting, I think, in culture because it's easy to grow for most of the species in a Mediterranean type climate. The only thing they don't like is frost. For growing this, you need to be almost frost-free conditions. Hello, here we have some nice Lachenalia in flowers. Here is Lachenalia carnosa, and tiny species with nice bright flowers. So it normally smell bad, but here it is not. But the flowers are especially nice. I have two other pots to show you, which are Lachenalia aloides. It's really a strange species because both are the same species, Lachenalia aloides, but they didn't look the same. It's just different forms of the species. You see, they don't have the same leaves, and more, they don't have the same flower colors, but this one is at the beginning and this one is almost at the end of flowering time. So they don't flower the same exactly at the same time, but those are the same species coming from the same region of the Cape. This is Lachenalia bulbifera, which is known too under the name Naginalia Bifolia. The species is really common in South Africa, and it's growing all along the coast, the south coast to the west coast. It's a coastal growing species. We found this in dunes, in deep sandy soils, sands, in acidic or alkaline soil sands. But the species is highly polymorphic, and you can find really different kind of leaves and flower forms. This is Lachenalia steineri, a nice dwarf species coming from South Africa in the Karoo. This species was dedicated to Frank Steiner. He was curator of the Karoo National Botanical Garden in South Africa, and this species is now under threat because of vineyards and fruit productions. Here is Lachenalia calista, a really nice species, and more, the name calista of the species is meaning much beautiful in English. This species is only known from 2 points on the Piketberg mountain, at the top of the Piketberg mountain, and on a village just north of it. Those plants are growing in pockets of humus rich soils between sandstone boulders in its natural habitats. In culture, it's an easy and most rewarding species, which is growing fastly and by bulb divisions and more by seeds. This is Lachenalia Leiptoldi, another dwarf species coming from South Africa. This species was dedicated to Dr. Louis Leiptold. He was a great naturalist, more a physician and a poet from South Africa. So this nice species was dedicated to him. He found it near the Oliphant River Valley, and the species in wild is growing on nearby this valley, and in this valley it's not threatened in wild for the moment, and it's forming large colonies on sandy flats and south facing slopes in its natural habitat. Here is Lachenalia salteri, a nice species coming from the region of Hermanus and Cape Town in South Africa. It's growing near swamps and pools in seasonally wet peaty soils, becoming hardly baked in summer. So this species was collected firstly by Terence MacLean Salter, which was a botanical collector and author. The species is now threatened in South Africa mostly because of housing development.